Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are on episode 2 of Into the Unknown. In this one we are going to the Indiana State Sanatorium. It's a very big place, so there's a lot of footage, there's a lot of information. The chick talks pretty much the entire time. Our guide speaks about everything that went on. Sometimes it's hard to hear, sometimes it's not, but you'll learn a lot of information about this place. There will be timestamps down below for when certain things happen, when certain things don't, if things happen. And there is a thing that they do, and it might be sometime at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. It is an overnight investigation that I can book. If you guys want to see an overnight investigation of this, if you guys want to see an overnight investigation in this place with night vision cameras and just a couple of people, like 2 or 3 people, through the entire state or sanatorium, all the underground places, all the underground tunnels, and everything else, let me know down below if you guys want to see it, and we will do our best to get that going. And without further ado, welcome to episode 2 of Into the Unknown, Indiana State Sanatorium edition.
Like houses that are kind of on this side. Actually, there's one of them right there. Those were doctors' residents. They're just little bungalows. There was the women's ward sat here, like on top of this. It started like out there. The men's ward to the TB hospital was that one where that one-story nursing facility is. That's where the TB hospital for the men is. That middle building, the 3-story. That's the administration building. It's one of the only 2 original structures left on site. It was built in 1911. This place opened up as the TB Hospital, Indiana State Sanatorium, in April 1st, 1911. Not a very good April Fool's joke, but there you have it. The children's ward was down the hill. That commercial building that you guys come into when you first come in, that's where the children's ward was. So after a couple years of having these kids here for the TB ward, they realized, hey, we haven't been teaching these kids anything. And they referred to them as feral children. They didn't know how to read, write, tie their shoes, cook, clean, anything. So they built a school, and within a couple years, that school became one of the top-rated schools in Indiana. Like, it was that good. They had built a log cabin so they could teach the kids how to do like home eccy stuff, so clean and cook and everything else you need to do to run a household. One of the owners decided he was tired of looking at the school, so he tore it down. It had a gymnasium and everything. It was actually pretty, I've seen a picture of it, it's pretty cool, but it's no longer here. This place was completely self-sufficient. So they had a covered bridge down there. They had a dairy barn that's now across 36. 36 used to run around, but then now it's old 36, and now there's the new 36 that kind of runs right in the middle. They had the power plant that provided the steam that heated the whole complex. It provided the power for the whole complex. They had the water treatment facility. They have a water tower out back. It was a really cool place back then, hopping, and at one point they had a wait list of over 400 people to get into the TB hospital because the care was so good here. Even though at one point they had an 80% mortality rate, most places did because, I mean, it was tuberculosis when it first came out, you know, it was killing everybody. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and go down into these tunnels. The tunnels actually do stretch out throughout the whole complex, so they're under every building. We're not going to go all the way through the tunnels. We're just going to go to the admin building, which is that middle building. All right. So there are the pipes in here that carry the steam. I'm going to be warning you guys to watch your heads. Please watch your heads, especially the short people. Y'all think you're short enough, but the short people are the ones who bump their head.
Oh, this is so cool. Oh, up here. This is so cool. I didn't even see that, so honestly.
They never brought patients. Yeah.
Excuse me. Look at what?
Watch your head.
Come with me.
Just down here.
This is so cool.
Tracy. I'm right behind you.
That is so kind of creepy.
So you would actually be under the women's TV ward right now.
I hope she don't
I will
mind
let
me.
you know if any of you are interested in the paranormal. It does seem to start happening around this time. That's when it starts. When it starts to get dark, it seems like this place just takes on its own new personality, and sometimes it gets kind of crazy. I had a big group last night, and I got them all hyped up, and we got in here, and absolutely nothing happened. So if it's like that again, I apologize. All right, so I am gonna ask, since this is a little bit bigger of a group, I'm okay with you guys like going into rooms and exploring some, but if we start moving, please come with us. It is kind of easy to get turned around and lost, especially when it starts getting dark. So Amy there in the back, if she starts screaming at you to get back in line, you better listen to her, or I will lock you in the morgue. All right. That's what it's called, right? Morgue? Yes.
Yes.
That sounded weird. Right. So, yes, there is more. What's that noise? It's probably a different tour. So, that way is more of the tunnels. We're not going to go that way. I've never even been down there. It just runs back under.
That's so dark.
The building.
Come here.
So we're going to go this way.
Maybe.
first.
Hold up, we're moving. Watch your head. That's so cool.
Yeah. I hope nobody's wearing flip-flops.
I got these like cloth shoes on, so it goes straight through.
Get those.
I have white shoes.
You don't mind if you ever get recorded by this, because I'm just kind of recording
No, it's
everything.
fine.
Okay.
So we're not actually going to run around too much around here because I will actually bring you back through here. I just figured I'd get us all kind of where we can all get together. So this building back here was the power plant. Back in 1911, when this place first opened up as a TB hospital, they told people, you know, here's a list of things you can bring. Everybody, of course, always brought more than they were supposed to, so they would have to box it up and they stored it in there. On this side was like the laundry. The basement was like the boiler room, so it had, you know, the big boilers and all that mechanical stuff. This little room right here was a bakery during the TB hospital era. And also, from what I understood, during the Allen Bryant, they had a bakery in there. They had one of those stupid Susans. It's a dumb waiter, but yeah. I always confuse it with a lazy Susan.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I just started calling it a stupid Susan.
They're kind of the same thing.
Right. Everybody always looks at me like I'm stupid Susan. But sorry if anyone's name is Susan. So in 2009, they had this place was closed down in 2011. The state and the feds came in and shut her down. 2009, they had a murder-suicide. It was two maintenance men. They had gotten in a fight. The one maintenance guy shot and killed the other maintenance guy in here in one of the maintenance rooms, and then he went over to the boiler room and shot and killed himself. I did verify that with a staff. They came on a tour last night. She worked here from 2000 to 2011 when they shut down. And she's like, yes, I specifically remember when that happened. So that's one of the little stories of Lee Allen Bryant. So,
Trace.
What?
that red building, probably, I imagine you're probably pointing at one of the storage buildings.
I think it's a storage
Yeah.
space.
There's a lot of little buildings around that are painted red. Most of them were just random storage buildings. So, yeah. The morgue. And I'll stop you there and talk to you a little more.
This place is very intriguing. There's a lot of.
Look at that. It's way out.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this. Like a Bible. Oh my gosh. This is somebody's foot.
Somebody's foot.
Picture of it.
Holy crap! Sorry. Wow.
This is a 40 files and some people are still alive. I actually know one of the ladies that's in that drawer that keep coming. Wow. So do we have everybody?
Yep.
All right, so this is the morgue. They, the owner that bought the property, they didn't originally know that this was the morgue until they started cleaning it out and they found this door. That is a refrigerator slash freezer door, and they were like, oh, okay. So they opened it up and noticed all the files in there. So back during the TV era, that was the morgue, or the freezer. This was the morgue. This x-ray machine, we actually had a guy come on the tour, he was an older gentleman. He came in here with his mom, and he specifically remembers them using this x-ray machine to x-ray his lungs.
Oh, wow.
That thing is old. This tub, we're assuming, I think it's a pretty fair assumption, since this was a morgue, that's where they were, washing the bodies off and stuff like that. We assume the table that they would have had the bodies on were probably along in this middle area. It does seem to be that there are some drains that have potentially been covered up. If anybody works in the healthcare field, you're probably pooping your pants right now because of the HIPAA violations. The state is aware of all of these files. If you think about it, the state is the one that stepped in and shut this place down immediately on the spot. So they knew this stuff was here. The current owner has already reached out to them and said, hey, are you ever gonna come get this stuff? Because it's been 10 years. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna come get it. Well, they still haven't came and got it. So it's still here, it's still waiting on the state. I'm gonna move through here real quick.
This is the morgue?
Yes.
This is interesting choices of music.
Why?
Canadian sunset. Autumn leaves.
So up here, there's some Polaroid pictures that have been found.
Autumn leaves.
A couple reasons that the place was shut down was because of Medicaid and Medicare fraud, but also because of abuse and neglect and just safety issues all around. A lot of these, I worked kind of in the medical field for quite a while. A lot of these look like they were pressure sores that just got out of control. The thing with pressure sores is they can easily kill you. They can lead to massive surgeries. They may or may not survive from. They can lead to sepsis, all kinds of stuff, easily kill you. And if you look like this one, for example, I don't know if you guys can see that.
That was the first thing I looked at when we
Yeah. That's pretty gnarly. So if you can imagine the kind of lack of care that's going to lead to that. I mean, you're in a nursing facility, this should not be happening. That should have been spotted, it should have been taken care of before it ever got there, but it wasn't. So there was a lot of abuse and neglect. The lady that I had, I'm just gonna call her Sherry, that I had on my tour, it was the last tour last night, she was so full of information because she worked here for 11 years. She was so full of information and so willing to share some of the horror stories. And I'm going to share some of those with you when we get over into the nursing home. And some of them will make you cringe, and they're not nice, pleasant thoughts. So, right now though, we're still in the administration building, so I'm just gonna kind of stick to that. But keep those pictures in mind. Hear me, stay closer. If you don't care, run around. So, this pile of stuff right here, this is all soiled living. So when I say they shut this place down, they shut it down. They didn't even have time to clean anything. These are all soiled living.
So we were in a room by ourselves, off on one of the sides. If there's anybody here, will you speak into this recorder? Walking. Scare you? Did I scare you?
A little bit.
I'm thinking, what?
Man, I can't wait till it gets turned dark. I'm gonna go in this room right here.
But she does remember it being more like a staff room. Remember the time they come in and
And some people come in and tell their stories.
yeah.
Only one in this room now. We got a dark back room here. I actually got creeped out on this one. I am very far away from anybody else. Anyone in here, please speak.
So again, you're in the basement of the administration building. So we're gonna go ahead and move up to the first floor.
Yeah, 130
Just so
for an overnight
everybody knows,
investigation.
We'll be going that way, so don't worry about going that way.
You can stay on right here.
Yes, they do have overnight tours.
Yes, 130, right?
So how much is it per person?
Up to 10, it's $900, so it'd be $90 per person. But
Oh,
they're all
really?
they're all booked out this year.
Not here, right?
I'm not real sure. I think you can stay down at the commercial building. I think some of them have stayed, like they had the guts to actually stay in the nursing home. And we're in the 5 stories still.
Not happening here.
All right, guys. So this is the first floor of the administration building. It was mainly during Lee Allen Bryant. It would have been your payroll, HR.
Tracy does.
I'm at a loss for words.
Like accounts payable.
Yeah, accounts payable. Yeah, administrative. There we go. Thank you. During the TV ward, though, supposedly there's an operating room up here on the first floor. My guess would be that room right there. That's the only one that makes any sense to me to be an operating room. Why do we put an operating room on the first floor and not?
Completely just left everything. Wow.
When you first came in here, you could find people's family pictures on their desks. This room back here had payroll checks that have never been handed out to the employees. Sherry told me last night, she was here when they closed down. She told me last night that they didn't get paid for the last 6 to 8 weeks that they worked. She said,
Your home that she said, Lisa?
yeah, there's payroll checks in there. She said she remembers, they had
Where's that other camera at?
Right here. I haven't even turned it on.
So I'm gonna use it for pictures probably.
Yeah.
So the people who work here, didn't get paid?
for the last 6 to 8 weeks before the place closed down, they get paid for.
Did you ever look at that schedule?
No.
There's an actual calendar out schedule. Of like, coffee club.
Oh, yeah, activities. Yeah, that's right. She told me
It blurred out.
Yeah.
I took a picture of Haley and it blurred out.
Because the light is being used by another device.
Your flashlight's on, that's why.
No, it's not.
Probably was at first.
It won't turn on.
Who went in front of me?
Is it won't turn on because another device is using it?
You said
Amy.
Okay.
Amy had a group.
And then the one before my mom was there, Amy and his mom.
So you
I'll
said
take a picture of all of this up there.
Yes.
I don't have anything.
He always gets mad.
Because it's being used by another device.
But you know, we went
I didn't get you any, sorry.
them today, and we took quite a bit of time. The other group was catching up to us.
Was he getting on
Yeah, he's getting it. He was, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and head up to the second floor.
Haley, come on. Grandma, John.
Please make sure to come this way. That way it's got a lot of broken glass and rubble and stuff. I don't want anyone to trip.
Holy crap.
Alright, so you're now on the second floor of the administration building. This floor during the TV era was doctors. They would have their rooms up here to sleep and everything. The third floor was for the nurses. They walled this off in 1976 when it became Lee Allen Bryant, and nobody went upstairs. They just recently tore this wall down, so if you think about it, that's like 40 some years that upstairs was untouched. Unfortunately, we can't go up there because it's not really safe, because there have been holes in the roof, and as you can tell from these rooms that damaged the floors. If you can see the damage to those floors and just imagine what it's like upstairs, it would not be safe for anyone to go up there. So we will not go up there. You guys can look around here for a minute, and then we will head down to the chapel.
Dang, this is nice.
The desk, and Lady Smith came to the desk and was sitting on. We asked her to get up, she was not doing that. Carmen was pushing on her back.
She can do it.
You okay? Headache?
No.
It was Kimmel and all, and they called it Amy. I'm like, I am Sam. The other one is Amy.
I'm Amy. And your mom is Amy.
You have that ape?
Her grill or whatever. This is like an old actual hospital hallway.
I don't think that's used as an ideal check.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Oh, wow.
Holy crap.
Alright, so this is the chapel. There are still murals on the wall. The owner does want to restore those. There's one on the wall, and I apologize, there's one over there. Please do not walk back in that corner.
Over here.
Over here. The floor is very soft and wavy, so do not walk back there. In here is the beauty salon. So they could have come in here, obviously, and got their hair done, their makeup did, and all that stuff.
Wow.
Probably for a pretty penny. So back in the TV days, this was actually a kitchen.
Don't sit down.
I did upstairs in the other one.
Oh, my.
There's dolls sitting next to it and I sat in it.
Did you see
Yeah.
it? There's two of them.
That's so cool. Yeah. Let me take a picture with my phone of me sitting on one of the chairs. Here. Okay.
Get your face shut right off.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't think you probably got one.
That's my. That was wet. A little bit.
Probably.
Huh.
So if you guys want to come with me, we're going to shoot down to the nursing home. We'll try to get ahead of these guys a little bit.
You have stuff on you.
Probably. I sat in the chair.
That big?
All right.
Wow, this is amazing.
Is that everybody? We're good? Okay, so this nursing home was built in the 1980s. We couldn't really pinpoint a date, but the lady, Sherry, from last night, she said she thinks it was around 1983. So all the other buildings on the complex are a lot older than this one, and this is in one of the worst shapes. So, this little room out here was the smoking area, and if you're looking for some of the scary stories, so I was telling one of my groups about it. And I was just holding it open. I'm like, yeah, blah, blah. They smoked out here. Beth yelled at them because they were feeding the cats, bringing all the critters up, pissed Tom off. Tom said, stop feeding the cats. If you want to feed them, go to the benches. So I was giving them that little rundown. And I had let go of the door, and I was standing here because I have this bad habit of just standing in doorways. Stupid, I know. And this door hit me. And, I mean, you can see it didn't really shut on me that hard. But it hit me so hard, I actually flew up here and I spun around and I looked at everybody's faces when I turned back around and everybody was like, oh my God, because it literally slammed shut. I weigh 210, 215 pounds. I am not easy to move and it shoved me forward. So there's that little spooky story. Some people have been taking pictures in this mirror and have been getting other images in the mirror with them.
Mirrors reporters.
Just know there is a smudge here that does kind of look like a profile of a person. So
mirrors reporters are people.
Get other pictures looking into it. Yeah, but looking for it.
I don't know, somehow,
So Sherry last night was telling me, she worked here for 11 years. She was working here when the place shut down. One night they had everybody in the activity room over here, and there was a lady sitting here in her wheelchair. The nurse came up, gave the lady a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with nothing to drink. This lady was already a choking risk, not hazard. And so she started choking. Sherry said that those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, there was this much peanut butter on them with nothing to drink. Sherry was down at the nurse's station when she heard all this commotion, and she looked down, and this nurse is trying to do the Heimlich maneuver on this patient while the patient is still in the wheelchair. That's not going to work very well. So Sherry came hauling ass down, scooped the lady up out of the wheelchair and started doing the Heimlich maneuver. Unfortunately, she was not able to save her. The lady passed away right here. They called 911 like they were supposed to, and the cops said, don't move her, we're coming. Hold up a sheet so nobody can see her. So they had to keep everybody in here while holding up a sheet around this lady that just passed away. The cops came in and drew a chalk line around her like it was a crime scene. And the people in here were getting ticked off because they didn't want to be in the activity room library anymore. They wanted to go smoke. So Sherry said they let them go over there to smoke. And then they were mad because they didn't want to be in there anymore. They wanted to go back to the rooms, but they couldn't go back to the rooms because the cops weren't done here. She's like, it was just madness. Every day in this place was madness. She verified some of the clients and some of the stories that we have been told, or some of the residents and some of the stories that we have been told. I told her, feel free at any point if I say something that is inaccurate in any way, feel free to correct me. And she never once really corrected me, but she always added on to the stories that we've been told.
Is it a wet floor sign all the way down there? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I see something, but I don't know what it is.
These rooms, you can look in there and you can see the linens and stuff that are still folded. Sherry said she remembers folding this stuff and putting it on these shelves the day before the place got shut down. And I told her, I'm like, well, you did a good job of folding stuff. It's still there. So, it's been sitting in there untouched.
Oh, wow.
This is creepy.
Wow.
Some of the smells aren't so great.
So, one of the things about the nursing home, a lot of people have been getting grabbed. A lot of females have been getting their butts grabbed specifically. We have had someone scratched in this area. A lot of shadow play, a lot of disembodied voices, a lot of footsteps, a lot of shuffling.
All volunteers should get to have it
I
happen.
actually caught, I actually have on my phone a picture of wet footsteps, freshly wet footsteps, that came from and went to nowhere. I can show you guys that when we get down there. That way you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This room though,
I am too.
there's still personal effects in here. If you guys want to come in here. So, we've been, we've talked to several staff, previous staff at this point, and I've had 3 of them verify that this guy right here, his name is Billy Bishop. They called him Pervy Billy. He likes to run around here and grab everybody's butts. And he would not leave the females alone.
And you like play bingo, looks like.
This lady, her name was like Adrian or something like that. Sherry couldn't remember exactly what her name was. Their clothes, I mean, his clothes are still like fluid and weird. There's his Bible, the Bishop's Bible is right there. So a lot of people's personal effects are just kind of much. I don't know, I haven't read it. So you guys can go ahead and you can roam around this hall, but don't go too far that way, because I'll stop you and talk to you again at the nursing home, but you can roam around for a few minutes.
It's dark now outside.
That cat thing happened, we moved here. I was explaining that to him, and when I brought my flashlight down, I noticed footprints on the floor. And if you guys want to take a look at this, these footprints literally
It's dark outside
came
now
from
pretty much.
nowhere and went nowhere.
I wanna see.
What?
We were looking like here. I had walked in there and got my feet ended up getting wet a little bit.
barefooted, yeah.
Yeah,
it's not a
so
shoe.
the footprint closest to the bed actually has toes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like it looks
I'm
like they
looking
kind of
blinded.
stepped down and then spun with that foot.
I know.
So some of these people would hoard their food so they could run out into the woods and stay for a couple days, often dying from the elements. Yeah.
That's why there was a
Yeah.
sign saying that, don't figure
There
I
were
work in this type of
people
stuff now, so I understand all
got
that.
out of here all the time because of lack of security, and a lot of those resulted in death. There was a lady who made it all the way to Raccoon Lake.
Oh,
They
shit.
found her a month later dead. There was a guy that ran off in like 2006, and he was gone for 3 days. It was 20 degrees outside. They found him 3 days later down by the covered bridge because
In the woods.
yeah, this place
Yeah.
had a covered bridge. He was trapped in the water.
I didn't hear nothing when I went over there, but I got the audio recorder and everything. I got all that.
Another guy ran out of here, ran out of the covered bridge and hung himself. One lady climbed up the water tower because the spirit pulled her so, and she died up there because she froze to death.
It sounded like it was all the way back.
All right, well,
Other people ran out.
if you heard sound, let's see if I do it again.
Purposely to hit.
Hopefully it does.
You had people jumping out of the 5th floor and dying. You had a woman that jumped out of the 3rd floor and died. One of the guys that jumped out of the 5th floor actually hit the awning and survived, but wasn't doing so hot after he hit the awning. So this was the light is really bright.
Sorry.
This happened a lot, and that's one of the reasons the state decided to shut this place down, because one of the ladies that was running this place went on record with the newspaper, and she said, when they run away, what are we supposed to do about it?
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. Just, whenever you get the end, the tractor will be there for a pickup. Just let me know when you need us.
So it was a lot of lack of supervision, a lot of neglect, a lot of abuse, and the state had enough, so they shut them down. So this is the kitchen. Now keep in mind when you're in here how small this kitchen is.
Oh, shit.
It served both the nursing facility and the mental health hospital. The mental health hospital is 5 stories. You're looking at like 15 plus rooms on per floor, 2 people per room. Plus you have the nursing home, 2 people per room in the nursing home. This little kitchen had to feed them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That would have been a lot to keep up with. I'm gonna guess the quality of the food probably wasn't very good. So, now when we move over into Adam, or into the it's just got bags in it. When we move over into the other building, the 5-story, I'm just gonna start referring to it as Adams Hall. I don't really like to call it a mental institution in there. It just doesn't feel right. I don't like to refer to it as a mental hospital, you know, psych ward. I don't like calling it any of that. Sometimes it slips out of my mouth and I'm like, so if anyone has any experience with mental health facilities, typically when you come into them, you have to go through assessments to figure out how dangerous you are going to be to yourself and to others, and figure out so they can figure out where they need to place you depending on your needs and their ability to care for you. So they would come in here, they would come in on the 2nd floor, check in, then they would come down to the 1st floor and be assessed. And there are holding rooms. I got this, they would hold them for 24, 48, or 72 hours in those rooms, depending on their assessment and how dangerous they were deemed to be.
Hey, it's finally dark.
They left some doors
Oh, it got really cold here. Oh, because the open, never mind.
open. The doors are open.
What was that? Is that a dog or something in the distance? Hopefully it was just a dog.
Yes. So this is the cafeteria,
wow.
the dining room for
That's so
Adams
cool.
Hall. So all the floors would have come down here at their time.
I'm gonna go in the very, very back. Where it's spooky.
We're actually gonna go on the other side of this hallway, or this wall.
Oh, cool.
All right, so down here,
I mean, if anything wants to touch me, I'll volunteer as tribute. I want to see that shit.
Mama Bear's on it.
I mean, as long as it's been here, this still looks, you know what I mean? It's good.
I'm with it.
Yes. Oh, well, look at this one, says nurse's station.
I want something to touch me. They're talking about. I want it to happen.
I do too.
I want something to touch me, grab me, scratch me, something.
Me too.
I don't want something to follow me home.
No. There's a nurse's station.
I want to taunt, but then I don't want to.
Hello? Anybody here?
Oh, I want to do this real quick. I'm gonna put this. Excuse me.
Nothing in there. It's all
He's got his
gone.
thing.
Audio recorder sitting right there.
Now, would you be in here by yourself?
Hell no.
I would. I would.
all right, so last night,
This is huge.
well,
I mean,
maybe,
it goes on and on.
maybe I'll start with, on
Sorry.
my first flashlight tour. I was actually down this hallway. I was in military. I was actually in that room right there. So the room right
Second one?
before those big doors.
Yeah.
And like an idiot, I'm standing in the doorway with my butt facing in the room when something poked my butt really hard and
Can I
then
go
ran
do
its
that?
fingers down my arm. And I had just a t-shirt on, so I felt it clear as day. And the people that were standing over here just happened to be looking that way, and they saw a black shadow
I want to do that.
run from where
Go
I
down
was
there.
standing over to the other side of the hallway. There's been a lot of shadow play down there. Shadow play down there. Last night, my tour, we were standing here, I was kind of
Come out,
talking about
ghost.
this hallway. So all the other tour guides, I've heard them call this over and over and over again. The creepy bobcat hallway, or the creepy bobcat way. And I'm like, the first time I went on a tour shadowing I'm like, wait, but what?
I was feeling scared of walking out of the
I
room.
seen him in there, I just wasn't really looking for him.
My bad.
Bobcat and its baby living down there.
Oh, Lord.
I was like, wait, you guys never told me there was a bobcat in here. Not now.
Not now.
I just walked out.
So I was telling everybody about that last night, and as soon as I said that was the creepy bobcat wing, you know the difference between an actual cat meowing and a human mimicking a meow. It was a human voice mimicking a meow coming from down there. So you also know what it sounds like when a cat
We're allowed to go down
is
that direction?
clawing at the carpet and
No.
it's like, and like thumping. It was that like on crack coming from down there. It was so loud that like, so I was standing like right about here, and I was talking to everybody in the group, and that happened, and I
What?
turned, and you know, now I see that there's a sign on the door, so it's a little more like, oh, okay, maybe that's what I was seeing.
Were you
But
allowed
it
to go down
literally
there?
looked like, yeah, you can go down there. But it literally looked like someone was standing on the outside.
I'm gonna go down.
of the door, looking in and banging on it. One lady on a cheesecake. She looked at me and she was like,
Come and speak.
because like the first thing my head said was shit, there is one. But then my brain was like, God, I don't feel.
That's really dead body.
Come speak with me.
Yeah.
I felt something touch my shirt.
Man, no smell down
I
here.
felt something touch my side of my shirt. It might have just been my shirt, but because something did like.
Might be your backpack.
No, like I'm right here. I thought I felt something poke my shirt, but it might have been just my shirt. That does smell like something rotten. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here by myself. You know, it wouldn't be too smart to do.
Yeah, just going around.
Actually, I would do that. Actually, I should do that.
I'd be the last one out
That's the
there.
one way.
I was sitting down there by myself. Are we the ones in here right this second?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
this must be the living room.
I'm gonna go with it this way. Where the hell's my audio recorder? Too much shit in my pocket.
Well, this must be the original.
Nah, I didn't figure that.
I bet there was. Oh, look at that staircase.
Sorry.
You're like one of those people with those halogen headlights.
I'm gonna go check downstairs real quick again. By myself, yeah. If you're not going. Oh shit. Pretty creepy down there when you're by yourself. Just saying that now.
Some girl. Oh, this is carpet.
What? We're going to go upstairs?
$7 billion.
Oh, well, $70.
Is there an attic upstairs or something?
Yeah. And there, I mean, you can go up there. There's dolls that'll creep you out right there.
Oh fuck, that's awesome. Hey,
Beautiful.
hey, there's an attic up there, and there's a secret door set up there. You wanna go in it?
Do what?
In the attic, there's a door up there. You wanna go in it?
No.
Come on.
Goes up in the attic.
Yeah, there's an attic over here.
You fucking funny.
Come on, let's go. Came here for a reason.
Oh, this.
Wow, check out the doll head.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. Just a bunch of junk. Stuff people left around here.
Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Wow, this is a nice attic.